I think not getting runs more because tactics is something that you do on the field depending on the execution of all the players. Because ultimately, if you see execution is something that's very important, and if you are consistent and just for example, if you take the bowling department, if the bowlers bowl consistently in one line, then you have the option of defending that side of the field and yet having catching fielders to get the mistimed shots. But if you're not consistent when it comes to the line and length, then with 9 fielders, if you want to have 2 catching fielders and a gully, and with rest of the fielders to defend the field, it becomes very difficult. And that's what the Australian lineup has taught us, how to be consistent in the bowling line and lengths, and ultimately force the batsman to commit a mistake. Well, I need to blame myself. I'm the leader of the side, so of course, I'm the male culprit. So yeah, of course, I blame myself. I can only talk about the game so far, and if you see, in the games that we played in England and the 3 test matches over here, we have not put enough runs on the board. There's only one instance where we have scored over 350 odd runs. So that's something we need to be careful about, because you want to give bowlers those amount of runs so that they can look to get the opposition out. Okay, 1 or 2 bad innings, it can happen in test cricket. One odd bowler can bowl really well and he may get the opposition out. But overall, I think 4+3, 7 test matches is a bit long, for the batting line to flop. As far as the amount of cricket that I've seen, this is definitely one of the worst phase where we have not done consistently well. If you see in England, again, 4 test matches out there. Again, I'm repeating myself, 3 test matches over here. We have not put runs on the board. Bowling, I think, England, because of injuries, we had a bit of setback when it came to the bowling department. Over here, I think we have not been as consistent. If you see this particular test match, apart from that 1 hour or 1.5 hour session, where David Warner attacked the bowlers, I don't think they bowled real badly over there, but he just went after the bowlers and it became difficult to contain him. But once he got out, when we had a very open field to him, so that we wanted to him to score in ones and twos, and once he got out, we were able to put pressure on the rest of the batsmen who came in, and we got them out cheaply. So I think overall, I don't think bowling is a real worry. Of course, we have not consistently bowled well also, but what's really consistent is the batting lineup flopping. We have to score at least 300 to 325 odd runs depending on the venue and the wicket, which we have not been able to do. Well, again, it's very important to have the right mixture at the right time. All of a sudden you can't have all the seniors missing out and all the juniors coming in. So we'll have to, thinkfully decide as to what is the best option, give exposure, a bit of exposure to the youngsters who come in. At the same time, have the fair mix of experienced guys and the youngsters, because ultimately, test cricket, of course, a lot of people will be tested, but, the experience these guys have, once they transfer that experience or share that experience with the youngster, the job of the youngsters coming in will become slightly easy. So, that's something that we need to be very careful about. You don't have to play 100 games to be experienced. If you share, whatever questions you have with these experienced guys, it really helps you gain the knowledge faster. I feel, every man needs to be managed in a different way. There are certain people where you need to go up and get personal and explain as to what needs to be done. And at the same time, there are someone, who needs to be treated your way. But most of our cricketers, they have really stepped up when the need has come, and we don't really need to take extreme measures. Of course, we need to do well as soon as possible, and there will be pressure on everyone. It's not only the players, the support staff also, because most of us are feeling bad about it, because at the end of the day, we are professional cricketers, but we are human beings, and we all run on emotions. So it's something that's a big part and parcel of leading a professional cricketer's life. Great guy to have. He's someone who has got the knowledge about the cricket. He's one of the most experienced coaches around, and his the small interesting technical things that he knows about batting and bowling, it's very crucial to have. So it's not like he has become the coach and we have lost 2 series, so all the blame needs to go on him, because ultimately it's the players who go in and look to perform. The coaches, they look to motivate them. If there are certain technical areas where it needs to be worked on, they help them out with it. But overall, I think the emphasis is on the 11 players who go in to bowl well and bat well.